The world's richest man, Elon Musk, is on a crusade, but it has nothing to do with the space race or electric cars or even AI, believe it or not. Instead, Musk wants to save our government from itself. The U.S. government currently adds $1 trillion in debt every 100 days, and the national debt has skyrocketed now to over $36 trillion. Excess government spending is driving America to bankruptcy. Musk posted that to X, and in later comments he added, "The government is out of control. This needs to stop." Now, Musk was very involved in the election as a result, even giving away $1 million a day to a random citizen as long as they agreed to sign his petition on free speech. And he donated over $119 million to help Trump's victorious campaign. Trump even gave him a nod during his victory speech, saying a new star is born. And Musk has already agreed to serve as the head of a Department of Government Efficiency under the Trump administration. He thinks that he could cut out at least a third off the yearly federal budget right away. That would be over $2 trillion, and he believes it needs to happen now as inflation eats away at the value of Americans' retirements. Musk calls inflation a pernicious tax. The federal government is spending America into bankruptcy, and that's what really leads to inflation when the government spends more than it brings in, Musk said. It's the pernicious tax of inflation that's killing seniors' quality of life right now. After all, the federal government only gave Social Security recipients a measly 2.5% cost of living increase this year. 2.5%? I mean, even as the cost of beef is up nearly twice as much, even as the cost of eggs has risen nearly 40% in 1 year. In fact, food inflation alone has outpaced Social Security increases by nearly 20% since 2019. And that doesn't factor in healthcare, where costs are rising much quicker than the federal government's phony official numbers. The Senior Citizens League just released a very damning report. The reality is that the 21st century has overseen a dramatic fall in Social Security's buying power. The average payment for retired workers in 2024 is worth only about 80 cents on the dollar compared to 2010. And it said cost of living adjustments have become less likely to beat inflation over time. But that's not even the worst of it. As Social Security payments shrink, the government is borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, and our Social Security Trust Fund is dwindling. According to a report in the Associated Press, Social Security will be unable to pay out full benefits by 2035. No wonder Musk is so worried about our government's finances. But while there's little that he can do about Social Security's mismanagement, Musk could help pay for your retirement thanks to a unique investment that he's pouring money into right now. You see, Elon has a history of fixing government problems by creating a quicker, cheaper alternative to the federal government's failed plan. Like when NASA got in a pickle when its partner Boeing couldn't return 2 astronauts from the International Space Station, Musk stepped up and solved that problem. In fact, he literally created SpaceX because the government couldn't figure out how to decrease launch costs to a level that made space exploration and a vibrant space economy possible. Rather than play the bogus carbon credit game that actually does nothing to decrease carbon emissions, he launched and built Tesla to accelerate the advent of sustainable transport. When the government failed to rein in extreme liberal bias and censorship on the internet, Musk spent $44 billion to buy Twitter just to protect freedom of speech. And when federal relief efforts for Hurricanes Milton and Helene were stalled, Musk made his Starlink internet connections available free of charge. Now, American retirements are getting crushed by government mismanagement, but there is something that you can do about it. Some of the world's most successful tech CEOs are joining in on a unique investment right alongside Musk. So I'm talking about Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Ellison, ChatGPT creator Sam Altman. They too are worried about our government's ability to pay its bills and the effect that that could have on tens of millions of American retirees. They're all pouring over $1 trillion into a potentially explosive investment. And you could get a chunk of this money too. In fact, over the last few years, this strategy outperformed the S&P 500 by a factor of 4 to 1. If you'd put $100,000 into the S&P 500 in late November 2022, you'd have about $150,000 right now. But putting the same money in this investment would have become $295,000. No, it's not as simple as just buying these company stocks, and I'll explain exactly how you can take advantage of this in a moment. But look, our government is $36 trillion in debt. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is now worth over $300 billion. Jeff Bezos is worth $215 billion. Mark Zuckerberg worth $196 billion. Sam Altman's OpenAI brought artificial intelligence to the forefront with ChatGPT. Now, who would you rather have responsible for your retirement? These extremely successful businessmen or our bloated, ineffective, and bankrupt government? The answer to me is very clear. There's only so much that Trump and Elon can do to fix the government right away, however. The problems run deep, but there is a way to help fund your retirement beyond government programs like Social Security, or even retirement accounts like pension funds or IRAs that are getting eaten away by inflation. What I'm saying to you is 100% legit here, as we'll break down over the next few minutes. And it does not come from buying the stock of Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, or Meta. I do want to be clear. While we're not talking about buying the stocks of Elon Musk's or Bezos's or Zuckerberg's companies, we are talking about the stock market. You see, the surprising method to get these tech titans to help pay for your retirement includes a handful of lesser-known tech companies who are part of a $1 trillion plus flood of spending. These tech CEOs are funneling money into these companies and could continue to do so for years. Our special guest today, Jeff Brown. He believes that these companies will become the backbone of the tech industry for the next 5, 10, even 20 years of your life. Claiming just a small share of this spending could easily help supplement your retirement. And Jeff would know. He's probably more tapped into Silicon Valley than anybody else on this planet. As an angel investor, he put his own money into hundreds of private companies, ranging from biopharmaceuticals to AI, drones, aerospace, blockchain. He made his bones as a high-level tech executive for both NXP Semiconductors and Qualcomm. In fact, Jeff once headed a team that oversaw 30 of the top wireless markets in the world. His ability to spot stock market winners ahead of time, it is second to none. Way back in 2016, at a private event, Jeff pounded the table on NVIDIA's stock, and that stock is up 22,122% since his recommendation. NVIDIA is now considered the leader in AI. $10,000 invested then would be $2 million right now. He called the #1 stock of 2018 and 2019, saying AMD would be equally critical in the coming AI revolution. That stock is up 1,057% since his recommendation. Jeff was way ahead of the crowd on Tesla, recommending it back in 2018, and Elon Musk's electric car powerhouse is up 1,425% since then. He called Twilio before it went up as much as 1,716%. Okta went as high as 920% after Jeff's recommendation. In fact, the year that you recommend Twilio and Okta, those two stocks ended up being the top 2 small cap performers on the Russell 1000 index. The odds of doing that? 1 in 500 million. But Jeff Brown did it. He told folks to buy Bitcoin at just $240 in June of 2015. It's up 33,645% since. So $3,000 invested in the digital currency when he recommended it would be worth over $1 million right now. And he called the coronavirus crash of 2020 45 days ahead of time. Jeff's work is followed by financial professionals at BlackRock, JP Morgan, SoftBank, Morgan Stanley, Edward Jones, and a whole lot more. He's been asked to consult with members of the U.S. Department of Commerce as a tech expert. And on top of that, Jeff has degrees from the London Business School and Purdue University's famous Cradle of Astronauts. It's the same aeronautical and astronautical engineering program that serves as a feeder system for NASA, producing Neil Armstrong, first man to walk on the moon, among others. And today, Jeff is going to show us exactly how to make a few small investments that will allow folks like Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg to literally help pay for your retirement. The truth is, it only takes a few key investments in a massive breakthrough technology to help fund a very handsome retirement. And artificial intelligence is generating the kind of revenues that make it perfectly capable of doing the same for you. If you just bought Amazon at the start of the internet boom in 2002, you'd have made 32,421%. $10,000 invested, would be $3.2 million right now. And it didn't take a well-diversified portfolio or a mutual fund or ETF. You could have done it on one key stock. Or what if you'd bought Apple at the moment the iPhone was released? You'd be up 7,417% right now, turning every $15,000 invested into over $1 million. The rise of AI is just like the internet boom or the advent of the smartphone. Now, of course, he can't promise gains that high, and these are some of the best performers, but Jeff Brown says that a small handful of stocks will carry the day. Here's Jeff Brown now to show you how to retire comfortably thanks to big tech.
Take a good look at this building right here. It's as big as 80 football fields. It uses as much power as a small city, and it's outfitted with the most advanced technology in the world. Your retirement is inside this building. That's right. I believe what's inside this building could easily help pay for your retirement. And that's because people like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos, the owners of Tesla and xAI, Meta, Amazon, will spend over $1 trillion on buildings just like this in the next few years. They're called data centers, and I believe the companies who supply these data centers will be the biggest stock market winners of the next decade and beyond. Forbes calls them the nerve centers of our digital economy. And it's not just massive AI companies pouring money into them. BlackRock is the biggest investment firm in the world, and they're all in on AI data center construction. The White House recently created a task force to specifically prioritize these buildings as a matter of national security. When it comes to AI, the best stocks to buy aren't the companies spending the money on these data centers. It's the companies collecting that money, the ones who supply the critical technology to make them run. Now, let me be clear about something. There are very few of these gigantic AI data centers out there. Yet, at the moment, there are over 5,000 data centers in America built in the early days of the internet and the cloud computing revolution, long before anyone thought about AI and the massive amounts of computation and storage required to build and run AI applications. But our current data center infrastructure is obsolete when it comes to AI. The vast majority are incapable of processing that much data at high speed. So we have to build new ones, specifically outfitted for artificial intelligence. These AI-capable buildings are called hyperscale data centers. Some even call them AI factories. Really, they're massive supercomputers filled with the most advanced semiconductors, servers, controllers, and energy infrastructure. A Synergy Research Group report said at least 130 of these giant AI-focused data centers will come online every year for the next decade. For instance, Musk is building a giant AI data center outside of Memphis, and he calls it Colossus. Amazon spent $10 billion on just one hyperscale data center in rural Mississippi. Meta has pledged $800 million to build just one data center in Indiana. Microsoft and OpenAI are spending $100 billion on a hyperscale data center they call Stargate. And that's Stargate right behind me now. That's just the start. And in fact, you could say the AI data center build-out is like a space race. Each of these companies wants to dominate the potentially lucrative field of generative AI, and they are willing to pay any cost to do it. That means pouring money into hyperscale AI data centers, over $1.4 trillion in 2024 alone. And a McKinsey study says demand could triple by 2030. Most of the spending is coming from four specific companies: Musk's xAI, Microsoft's OpenAI, Amazon, and Meta. But they can't do it all themselves. All of these massive tech companies rely on a small handful of under-the-radar companies to power their AI data centers. And it's these special companies where the profits lie. Now, obviously, the demand for AI data centers is unlike anything that we've ever seen before. Plus, there's only a few companies capable of providing the complex equipment required to outfit them. This is exactly what you're looking for in a stock market winner. Potential revenue lined up for years to come and a wide moat as one of the only companies with the expertise to do the job. I truly believe owning a small handful of the right AI data center stocks could pay for a handsome retirement. Today, I'm going to share more details about these special stocks, what I call the backbone of AI data centers. There are three types of AI data center stocks, and I'm going to walk you through the inside of this building and break down these three categories. But first, what the heck do we need all of these AI data centers for? Why are they so crucial to the richest men in the world? Now, you may have heard a few talking heads tell you recently that data is the new gold, and it's absolutely true. These massive AI companies are in a winner-take-all arms race. Whoever controls the data controls the world, because the more quality data you have to train an artificial intelligence, the better your AI will be. The biggest trend in AI since November 2022 has been developing large language models, or LLMs, like OpenAI's ChatGPT. Now, I won't get too into the weeds with the tech here, but advanced LLMs are massive artificial neural networks designed to process natural language, understand context, and ultimately generate answers when prompted. And the most advanced semiconductors are required to train these LLMs. Recent advancements have expanded the capabilities of LLMs to learn from pictures, from videos, audio, software code, and even real-time inputs from a video camera. We refer to this as multimodal AI, and running one of these LLMs is referred to as inference, which also requires advanced AI-specific semiconductor solutions and data centers at massive scale. This technology requires both enormous amounts of data and computational power. And all of that data, it has to be stored somewhere. The amount of data in the world now doubles every 2 years, and 90% of that data that exists was created in just the last 2 years alone since ChatGPT's arrival. It is critical for these globally dominant tech companies to keep spending and investing in this technology. They need the AI chips for both training and running artificial intelligence applications. And they need more data to improve the performance of their AIs. Because the more data you have and the faster you can process it, the better your AI will be, and the closer they get to artificial general intelligence, otherwise known as AGI. And that is what these folks are after. Because dominating the AI space could come with unthinkable financial rewards. Many estimates say that generative AI could generate trillions in yearly revenue after only being a $40 billion market just 2 years ago. PricewaterhouseCoopers says AI will contribute over $15 trillion to the economy by 2030. That's just a few years from now. So the leader in AI stands to grab the most money from that pile, adding even more pressure to the data arms race. This is a winner-take-all game. If one company's AI is easily the best out there, that company will get the lion's share of the revenues. Just look at Google with search, or Apple with smartphones, Tesla in electric cars. Now, can you see why AI data centers are so important? This is where all the work is done with AI. Data goes in and AI software comes out. That's why some call them AI factories. And the amount of data is only going to grow in the coming years because as AI improves, it becomes capable of even more complicated tasks. And this is true not just for the large language models, but also for robotics, for example, humanoid robotics that are capable of physically interacting with our real world. Elon Musk says AI compute power increases by a factor of 10 every 6 months. That means we're going to need to keep building hyperscale AI data centers for the foreseeable future. And this is where the majority of investment will happen in artificial intelligence inside of these data centers and the companies who provide the top of the line, cutting edge tech necessary to run massive amounts of AI calculations. That's why Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, says over $1 trillion will be spent on AI data centers in just the next couple of years. This is the next wave of AI. So what's inside these data centers that's so valuable? Well, let me explain. There are thousands of components inside every data center, but the three most important categories when it comes to the stock market are chips, memory, and energy. Those are the three categories where we'll find the best AI stocks right now. The companies who provide the chips, the memory, and the energy to AI data centers. The first and most important component are the chips, the semiconductors. And you can't have a conversation about AI chips without talking about NVIDIA. One expert simply called them the most important company in the world. And Goldman Sachs labeled them the most important stock of 2024. When it comes to the high-speed chips needed to run AI, NVIDIA is pretty much the only game in town. It was NVIDIA's generative AI chips called Hopper that helped power ChatGPT. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Sam Altman all have NVIDIA's chips at the heart of their operation. As a result, NVIDIA's stock has gone on a ride like no one has seen before. Since the release of ChatGPT brought AI into the public consciousness in November of 2022, NVIDIA's stock is up, get this, 851%. And it recently became just the third $3 trillion company in the world. CEO Jensen Huang, who once worked at a Denny's, is now one of the most famous businessmen on the planet. It's NVIDIA's chips that will line AI data centers no matter who's building them. Despite its incredible run, I think NVIDIA is still a buy. Its newest chip is called the Blackwell, and it's the most powerful microchip in human history, capable of rapidly improving generative AI, which makes it highly sought after by the biggest tech titans in the world. Now, while NVIDIA can't say specifically which companies spend how much money, their 10Q filing shows that almost half of their revenue comes from just 4 companies. Over $50 billion a year and growing, and we know Amazon is buying up Blackwell chips. Meta used NVIDIA Hopper chips to build its Llama AI model, and Elon Musk is using NVIDIA chips to try and master full self-driving vehicles at Tesla. Not to mention the 200,000 Hopper chips he hooked up at his Colossus data center in Memphis in just 19 days for xAI, his artificial intelligence company, a feat that would normally take 4 years. NVIDIA's Huang called it superhuman. Musk and Oracle's Larry Ellison even took Huang out to dinner and begged him for a chance to buy more Blackwell chips. The chips are estimated to cost $40,000 a piece, and orders are booked out for the next 12 months, meaning if you order one today, you won't get it for at least a year. Huang has called this demand insane. Everybody wants to have the most, and everybody wants to be first, Huang said. NVIDIA's place at the top of the AI throne is not going to come under any threat anytime soon. Without the scale of NVIDIA's production, the AI industry would be severely hampered. It is truly the most important stock in the world, and I believe everyone should own it. But there's something a lot of people don't realize about NVIDIA. They can't build all these chips on their own. In fact, NVIDIA, it doesn't manufacture any of its own GPUs. NVIDIA employs a small network of companies to help it maintain dominance in the chip industry. And it's these lesser-known companies that could exponentially outperform NVIDIA's stock. This is a great way to make money in technology. Invest in the companies behind the scenes. NVIDIA rose to fame in much the same way. Its first big break was supplying Microsoft's Xbox with chips. And while the tech giant stock went up a healthy 759%, NVIDIA's stock did 77 times better, going up 58,568%. Now, I found two companies who are absolutely critical to NVIDIA's operations, and I believe these stocks, like NVIDIA, are worth owning for the next 2 decades, possibly beyond. That's how big their impact is on the future of AI. In fact, I think they have a chance to see big gains. After all, for NVIDIA to repeat its performance of the last 2 years, it would need to become a $42 trillion company. And I love the stock, I love the company, but that's just not realistic. Instead, you can buy NVIDIA's partner companies and potentially make far more. These two stocks are going to play a major role in the AI data center build-out, working right alongside NVIDIA on its Blackwell chip. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said he expects 4 companies, Amazon, Meta, xAI, and Microsoft, to spend over $1 trillion on AI data centers in the next couple of years. And most of that money will go to NVIDIA and its partners. One of these companies has found a cutting-edge way to help push the limits of physics for NVIDIA's future chips. This would speed up design and production of the chips, meaning Silicon Valley billionaires like Elon Musk won't have to beg for semiconductors. With back orders beyond 12 months, this could only help juice NVIDIA's revenue. And NVIDIA partner stock number 1 could go through the roof as a result. The second partner stock isn't technically under contract with NVIDIA, but their components match up perfectly. And in fact, this company and NVIDIA's GPUs are partnered together in 9 of the world's top 30 supercomputers, something most tech experts don't realize. Getting into these two companies now in what are still the early days of the AI data center boom could help you fund your retirement. So, what are the names of these companies and how do you invest? Well, I'm going to share all that information with you in a special briefing that I put together. This is the same kind of industry information reserved for those who work in industry that I discuss in executive meetings when I worked at Qualcomm or NXP Semiconductors, or in a presentation with any of the hundreds of tech startups that I've invested in. It's called The Backbone of Data Centers, NVIDIA and 2 other stocks set to dominate AI. And I'm going to give everyone watching this video a chance to claim a copy. But please keep in mind, chips are only one pillar of the AI data centers. There are 2 others, and with their own set of promising stocks. The second pillar of the AI data center is memory, because the speed of chips has increased so quickly, it's forced memory processing capacities to increase as well. And the problem is, very few companies can achieve high bandwidth memory, or HBM, which is the necessity for AI data centers which require high performance memory. But there is one company that is perfecting it, and right now it can sell as many HBMs as it can produce. I think this company has the same potential to pad your retirement profits as NVIDIA and the 2 chip stocks that I mentioned earlier. In fact, it partners with NVIDIA in its data center projects, as well as NVIDIA partner stock number 2. These are the top companies in the AI data center field, and they're all interconnected. I've created a second companion report called One Stock Will Solve AI's Memory Problem. And inside, I'll give you all the details on this incredible company. Some are even calling them the next NVIDIA. All of these companies are set up to profit for years to come, and I believe they will be the backbone of the AI industry. And an investment now could help fund your retirement for the next 20 years. I'll share all the details on NVIDIA and 2 other critical chip stocks in the backbone of data centers. And I'll give you the name of the stock with the top memory solution set for AI data centers in One Stock Will Solve AI's Memory Problem. Now, I can have both of these reports in your inbox in a matter of moments. However, before I send them to you, I need to warn you, America is facing an emergency, and it's all because of AI. You see, AI data centers are massive power hogs. There's nothing like them. Because of the processing speed and the sheer volume of data, the centers have to be cooled constantly. They require a cool, dry environment to operate, and they need a huge supply of power. In fact, the average hyperscale AI data center uses as much power as an entire city the size of Denver or Seattle. And it's a problem that goes well beyond the United States. 1/5 of Ireland's entire power usage comes from just data centers. And worldwide, data centers are expected to eat up as much energy as a country the size of Japan by 2026. Elon Musk has even confessed that energy solutions for AI are his number one worry. He thinks we could run out of energy for AI data centers by the end of 2025. Our energy grid is already crumbling across the country, and one disaster could tear it apart. Just look at the mountains of North Carolina during Hurricane Helene. Lots of folks lost power for weeks, not days, and that meant a loss of clean water, refrigeration, and electronics. In one fell swoop, one part of America reverted back to the 19th century. The same thing happened in Texas when an unexpected snowstorm knocked out power for thousands of people. And in California, it's been instituting rolling blackouts for years now. And now we expect this shaky power grid to somehow provide the energy for massive AI data centers. That's why many of these big tech CEOs have been taking matters into their own hands, and they're getting creative with potential power sources. Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, recently sunk $375 million into a nuclear fusion power plant. Mark Zuckerberg is experimenting with geothermal power in the Rockies for Meta's data centers. To top it all, Microsoft just signed a deal to reopen the ill-fated 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant. That is how desperate these folks are for more energy to fuel their data centers. All of these projects sound great, and eventually they could solve big tech's energy problems, but not right now. None of these projects are scheduled to start getting built before 2028, let alone produce any energy. That's projected for 2030 or beyond. AI needs that energy right now, or else it will slow down the progress and the profits. That's why big tech has found a unique solution to help AI data centers manage the energy output before new sources of fuel come online. And there is one company leading this effort. Very few Americans would know their name, but they have a chance to be among the biggest winners in the AI boom. The company was a virtual unknown before ChatGPT was released, but they won an award from the U.S. Department of Energy for their one-of-a-kind data center energy solution, and that led to a coveted partnership with NVIDIA. Their solution would allow data centers to run at 20% better energy efficiency right now. But as a member of NVIDIA's partner network, they now have access to technology that could rapidly improve their own innovations. And you can bet NVIDIA will be calling them every time its chips are installed in a new data center. This under-the-radar stock has seen its revenue grow 50% in the last 3 years, and a reported $2 billion in revenue in the third quarter of 2024 alone. And as profitable as that opportunity is, it's only like a sprinkle in the desert. There's another company that will generate the extra power these new AI factories required. And this company already has contracts in place to power data centers owned by Microsoft and Amazon. And they have a leading position in Texas's ERCOT power grid. Its leading natural gas fleet gives them an edge in supplying cheap power to the billions of dollars worth of new data centers being built in Texas. I'll outline far more details about both of these companies in my special report on the third pillar of the AI data center called the AI Energy Saviors: How to Profit from AI's Number One Problem. In the AI Energy Saviors, I'll tell you more about these two energy stocks, what they do, and how it helps solve the massive energy shortages facing AI data centers. All three reports on the pillars of AI data centers can be yours in just a moment. And that includes the backbone of data centers, NVIDIA, and two other stocks set to dominate AI, which includes a critical update on NVIDIA plus two other chip stocks who will lead the AI revolution for the next 20 years and beyond. Your second report is one stock will solve AI's memory problem. Inside is the memory stock I think will lead the way in the AI data center build-out thanks to its partnership with NVIDIA. And then, special briefing number 3, the AI energy saviors, how to profit from AI's number one problem. So, how do you get your hands on these high-level stock market briefings? Well, by becoming a subscriber to my monthly technology investing newsletter, the Near Future Report. But the Near Future Report is far more than a stock market newsletter. It's your portal to the center of the technology market. Now look, I don't know about you, but I'm not satisfied with waiting a decade to profit. I want to see a positive return as soon as possible. And I think that's something that most tech investors miss. They're always trying to predict the future when the here and now can actually be very profitable. The truth is, you don't have to wait for the chance to profit on cutting-edge technology. If you get in right before the breakthrough hits the market, you could scoop up a tidy profit. How do you do that? Well, quite frankly, it helps to know someone like me who operates inside Silicon Valley's bubble, because I see and hear about breakthrough technologies the general public has never heard of. And I know when these new disruptive products are poised to reach the mass market. Like I did when I predicted the rise of AI. I recommended NVIDIA in 2016. If you held on to my original recommendation for the long haul, you would be sitting on a 22,122% win. The same thing happened when I called the rise of electric cars. Tesla is now up 1,425% since my original recommendation. Or when I pounded the table on digital currencies, touting Bitcoin at just $240. It's now up 33,645% since. Now, of course, these are some of my best calls, and I don't always get it right, as nothing in the market is guaranteed. But now I see the next phase of AI right around the corner, and the AI data center build-out is an infrastructure project on par with the interstate highway system or the original railroads. Its importance to America's future and prosperity cannot be overstated. That's why I can't wait to share these 3 reports with you and the names of the 6 stocks inside them. Now, I spent a very large chunk of my career living in Japan and working throughout Asia, and I'm a practitioner of an ancient martial art called Shotokan. It's one of the 4 traditional forms of karate, originally practiced in Okinawa. And it requires discipline and focus, concentration developed over years of experience. And I also picked up an ancient Japanese proverb during my time there, and it's one that sums up my investment philosophy. It's phonetically translated as Mikasaki Shireba Choja, and roughly in English it means, if you can see 3 days into the future, you'll become rich. In other words, you don't have to know what's going to happen miles down the road to get rich on tech stocks. You only need to know what's coming right around the corner. And that's why I created the Near Future Report. And I'm going to let you try it with a 60-day money-back guarantee on your subscription. Every month, I publish a new issue of the Near Future Report with a new way for you to profit from the exploding technology market. From my position as an angel investor and former advisor to Silicon Valley startups across multiple types of technologies, I learn about rapid advances in technology long before the rest of the world, and I can spot the signals of mass consumption on the horizon. Now, I'm not going to lecture you on the technologies that are years away. I'm going to show you how to make money on tech stocks right now. In the Near Future Report, I'll take you behind the curtain, and I'll show you technologies on the verge of immediate adoption, like AI data centers and the components that go into them. Now, you won't hear about these technologies ahead of time on TV or from a regular stock picker. And to be blunt, most of the technology advice out there is garbage. It comes from those without any tech background and no experience at all working in the industry. They're mostly throwing darts at the easiest target. My work has been followed by financial professionals at BlackRock, JP Morgan, SoftBank, Morgan Stanley, Edward Jones, and many more. And nearly 1 million people follow my technology updates every weekday in my free newsletter, The Bleeding Edge. But that's just a small preview. The Near Future Report subscribers get a whole lot more, and I'll take you behind the scenes and on location to some of the biggest tech breakthroughs in history right before they're on the tip of every American's tongue. I'll put you in the position to profit from the next big thing year after year. But please, don't take it just from me. Here's what some of my subscribers think about the Near Future Report. Kim B. wrote in to say, I have been a big fan of yours for a number of years. I love your style of writing and the ease and clarity of explaining technical subjects. As a fellow Purdue alum, I will say you are making all of us very proud. I continue to benefit financially from the Near Future Report. And Steve S. told us it's hard to get good information about the tech space unless you're an insider. I wouldn't know anything about where technology was headed without your input. Tim H. stated, I have been investing and working in the technology industry since 1985. Your insight and experience is easily the best I have ever read. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to offer every single person watching this video a risk-free subscription to the Near Future Report. And I'll give you 60 days to try it out at absolutely no risk for your subscription. When you accept my offer today, I'll send you all 3 of my special reports about AI data centers at no additional charge. You can have them on your desk just moments after I'm through. These briefings are chock full of high-level tech information that you can use to profit. In the backbone of data centers, NVIDIA and 2 other stocks set to dominate AI, you'll learn about 2 companies set to cash in on over $1 trillion in AI data center spending. And that's just the next couple of years. These are the companies who help make NVIDIA's chips possible, and they will be the backbone of the AI market for years to come. In one stock will solve AI's memory problem, you'll get the name of the company charged with solving data centers' memory shortage. Their unique memory innovation is on the cutting edge, and I expect them to be paired with NVIDIA in hundreds of new data centers being built. The stock is already up 23% in recent months, but I think it's going to explode a lot higher in 2025. With AI data center construction scheduled as far as the eye can see, I have a feeling revenue will keep pouring in year after year. This is still way early for the AI data center boom. The time to invest is right now, which reminds me, in the AI Energy Saviors, How to Profit from AI's #1 Problem, you'll get the name of 2 energy stocks who could save AI and America's power grid from a critical emergency. One hyperscale AI data center uses as much power as a city the size of Denver or Seattle. And new sources of power, whether nuclear or natural gas, will not come online for at least 2 years, maybe even 5. These stocks will bridge that gap and help solve AI's energy problem. Every stock in these reports is one I'd recommend buying and holding for years to come. AI is that big of a trend. And as soon as this video is over, I'll give everyone a copy of all 3 of these special reports when you subscribe to my technology newsletter, The Near Future Report. Now, there is a cost for this service. To get access to high-quality research like this, there is always going to be a cost. But consider this. The top investment firms in the world pay thousands of dollars a month for this kind of research. Goldman Sachs pays its average research analyst $111,000 a year in salary, and they employ an army of them. But you'll pay just a fraction of that for my high-level research. If you're serious about managing your retirement and not handing it over to some tuned-out broker or a boring mutual fund that brings back a meager return, then I applaud you. There is no reason you shouldn't have access to the same information the big guys have. The high-level stock market analysis I can provide you every month in the near future report. So how do you sign up? Well, I'll tell you in just a moment, but look, I found a company that partners with both Elon Musk and NVIDIA. Its parts are critical to Tesla's, and it's going to be heavily used in data centers in partnership with NVIDIA. But that's not even where I think the big money is on this company. You see, Tesla is not just an electric car company. On one hand, they're also one of the most successful artificial intelligence companies in the world with software that is on the verge of fully self-driving. In fact, I use it every day. I recently allowed myself to be tied up and blindfolded, then put in a Tesla Cybertruck with no driver and sent to my destination. Fortunately, everything worked out just fine, but Elon Musk wants Tesla to be more than just a car company. He is positioning them to become the leader in robotics as well. I'm talking about humanoid robots who can complete simple tasks that are either dangerous or monotonous for humans. Musk has already created the Optimus robot, which is on its way. Boston Dynamics has created the impressive Atlas robots, which can do a number of factory tasks already. It can lift and maneuver a wide variety of heavy objects, and it can even grip onto things like a human. And Amazon has over 750,000 robots at work in its facilities already. After all, a robot doesn't require a salary. There's no risk of it suing you, and it's a depreciating asset to the tax man. All of these things make it beneficial for factories to use robots. And it's an answer to the labor shortage that has been plaguing the manufacturing industry. In fact, it's how I think more manufacturing will return to America. But there's more going on here than just factory working robots. Musk plans to sell his for around $25,000, meaning it's less than a car in most cases. At some point in the next couple of years, I expect robot fever to sweep the nation. This will be the next gadget that people have to have. In fact, I estimate over 1 billion humanoid robots will be manufactured. At Musk's price, that makes this a $25 trillion market, potentially. And I found one small stock whose parts are critical to both Tesla's self-driving cars and Musk's Optimus robots. On top of that, they're partnered with NVIDIA going forward on AI data centers, and they've got deals with nearly every major car manufacturer in the world. So when it comes to the technology of the near future, this company has money coming at it from everywhere, yet very few Americans know its name. But I'll share that information with you in a special bonus report I'll send you called How to Profit from Elon Musk's Robotics Revolution. This report is yours free, along with all of your other special benefits when you become a Near Future Report subscriber today. In fact, here's everything you get with your subscription. 12 monthly issues of the Near Future Report. Every month, I'll report to you from the field, filling you in on the best stocks to play the greatest technology boom in history. And I'll give you investments that combine long-term stability with the potential for explosive growth. A subscription to The Bleeding Edge, my critically acclaimed free newsletter on the technology market, read by over 1 million people each weekday, including top professionals at places like BlackRock, JP Morgan, SoftBank, and Morgan Stanley. You'll be on top of every breaking story when it comes to technology and the stock market. Special report number 1, the backbone of data centers, NVIDIA and 2 other stocks set to dominate AI. Special report number 2, one stock could solve AI's $15 trillion memory problem. Special report number 3, the AI energy saviors, how to profit from AI's number 1 problem. Special report number 4, how to profit from Elon Musk's robotics revolution. Full archives of the Near Future Report going back to the very first issue with an easy search tool so you can poke around. Plus, you'll get access to my open and closed portfolio, every stock I've ever recommended in the Near Future Report. All of this is yours as a bonus when you become a Near Future Report subscriber today. Just $10,000 invested in NVIDIA when I recommended it would be worth over $2 million today. And with the offer I'm making right now, you'll get the names of 5 different stocks with the potential to go up just as much. Now, of course, I can't promise a gain that high, as all investments carry risk and past performance is not guaranteed. And please do not invest more than you're willing to lose. How much is that kind of information worth to you? Research and analysis are worth nearly $1 billion to Goldman Sachs every year. But I'm going to charge you a tiny fraction of that to get my technology expertise. Typically, we charge $499 a year for the near future report. If you visit our website, that's the price you would have gotten yesterday, and it's likely the price you'll get tomorrow. But I appreciate you sticking with me this entire stock market briefing. Someone with your determination deserves a leg up on the competition. So today, for everyone watching this video right now, I'm going to give you the near future report for just $199. For 12 full months with all the benefits and all your special bonuses. That's 60% off the regular price. And I'll give you 60 days to try it out and see if the near future report is right for you. And if you don't like it, simply cancel in the first 60 days and we'll give you a full refund for the cost of your subscription. No problem. But after what you've heard today, I can't imagine that you won't be satisfied. Artificial intelligence is the hottest trend in the world right now, and the vast majority of that money, over $1 trillion in the next few years, is pouring into data center construction. And I found 6 stocks who could all benefit greatly, not just from the boom in the data centers, but from their partnerships with NVIDIA, the most important company in the world. I believe an early investment in these companies now could fund your retirement for the next couple of decades. So why wait around? Please claim your special offer for the near future report today and get my critical stock market reports rushed to your inbox and give yourself a leg up on the market. Plus, with my money back guarantee, there's no risk to you for your subscription. So please click the button below to get started. You'll be taken to a secure website where you can review all the details of my offer so you can make sure the near future report is right for you. Click the button below to sign up, and thank you for joining me today. And remember, we have so much to look forward to.